Welcome back to the channel for another Division 2 video that may come across like a bit of a moan, but I hope you don't see it like that. It's more of a constructive criticism than anything, and that is about the new game mode countdown, and obviously what I want to see implemented with it, because at the moment, in my opinion, it's just another game mode that might get lost in obviously the whole landscape of things, just like, you know, Underground and things like that might have in Division 1, and I just want to talk about them today. Anyway, if you do like today's Division 2 video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more Division 2 content. And with that being said, let's get into it. So firstly, I want to start off by saying the actual game mode itself is pretty interesting. I'm really enjoying it, to be honest. You know, it's a similar setup to the raid, but obviously you don't need a party of 8 or, you know, a raid members, clan members involved. You know, you can do this just by matchmaking, and, you know, you can get the job done just as long as everybody knows the objectives. And I'm sure, you know, within a few weeks everybody will know what they're doing. And yeah, you know, it's another great game mode, you know, 8-man PvE, doing certain obviously objectives to obviously get extracted at the end. Exactly what I said before, just a smaller version of a raid. And overall, I absolutely love it. It's absolutely brilliant. You know, the introduction of obviously the hunters makes it a little bit more interesting, as you've got to work as a team, you know, to take them down. But my only issue is it's just another add-on in the Division, similar to, as I said before, you know, Underground and Division 1, where it can slowly get lost in the ether of things. And I want to give a shout out to my fellow Division agents, Kamikaze Von Doom. I had this video planned a few days ago when I made it, and I've recently just seen his tweet and he agrees with me. And, you know, there's a few things that he's mentioned that I didn't think of, but I know there's things that we both would have thought of upon how we can improve a countdown. So shout out to him for this. And, you know, I think it needs to be in a similar setup to the raids in general. You know, we need raid exclusives to make them worth doing. You know, we had the Eagle Bearer, we've got the Ravenous, the Regulus, and then obviously the gear sets like Future Initiative and the Foundry Bulwark pieces, you know, so there was reasons to do the raid, and I think that's what ultimately Countdown is missing, because as I say, it's just another game mode to earn a certain type of currency to get a certain type of cash, which you can get those items anywhere else in the game. And, you know, they brought 3 new exotics to the game with this particular update. You know, you've got the Catharsis Mask, you've got the blue screen exotic, you know, and you've also got the Dread Addict. So, you know, they could have made at least one of those items available in Countdown, because although you don't get to get a cash at the end of the mission, you know, it's all about just extracting, you do get to open a box in the final stage just before the helicopter's inbound. So, you know, they could have done it there, or they could have gone down the whole route of, you know, getting keys, similar to the way the raid does. And yeah, you know, I think it would have been pretty cool. I think they should put some raid exclusives, because at the moment there's just no reason for me to be playing Countdown anyway. I'm going to talk about a few things that I'd like to see implemented to make Countdown unique and ultimately worth grinding. Anyway, let's start off with the obviously the notable ones. I'd like to see some type of leaderboards, whether it's solo leaderboards or clan leaderboards. Also implement, you know, a particular cash for the clan to earn by X amount of experience earned playing Countdown. I think that'd be pretty cool, because obviously we've got, you know, raid challenges, clan progression, you know, in the weekly cash in the projects, so maybe adding that to Countdown will also be a great way to get the clan grinding it out. Secondly, I want to talk about personal, obviously weekly and daily projects, just like we obviously got the weekly shade requisition project, where obviously you get the exotic cash if you complete the material donations within that given time. You obviously got the weekly summer projects, you know, you've got Dark Zone projects. It'd be pretty stupid not to have Countdown projects, so I'd like to see them implemented as well. 2 things that I didn't think of, which Kamikaze did, is the accommodations and achievements. You know, the game is built around accommodations. It'd be pretty stupid not to implement them for Countdown. Could be along the lines of killing a certain amount of hunters in you know, in one particular sweep through. It could be killing, you know, a certain amount of hunters just in general. You know, could have something like that. It could also be completing as many of the objectives, so maybe after 50 objectives, 100 objectives, which would mean you'd have to play, you know, countless run-throughs of Countdown, you get certain accommodations and achievements. I think that would be pretty cool, especially for the people who like to grind out those type of things. Now the next is just what I think I was watching GC Rock's live stream prior to the update landing, and a lot of people were talking about, you know, exclusive apparel like patches, weapon skins, outfits, and obviously even hunter masks. You know, I think it's kind of overdue that we get some more hunter masks in this game. You know, because when the grind was on to decipher those codes back in the day for the hunters masks, they brought so much enjoyment to the community. I think it'd be absolutely brilliant to maybe put a few hidden hunter masks in Countdown. Maybe you have to do certain objectives, find certain Easter eggs, or simply just, as I said before, kill a certain amount of hunters. I think that would be pretty cool. And you know, if you say for instance as you need to kill 200 hunters and you got this exclusive hunter mask and it stood out compared to every other hunter mask, any other obviously apparel mask that we've got, you know, people will know you meant business. You know, they know that you've grinded that game mode out. And yeah, you know, Kamikaze himself also mentioned that in his post, but I think it was pretty obvious, you know, when it started, you know, seeing a game mode include a load of hunters, first thing people thought of was more hunter masks. And you know, that's kind of all that I've come up with. That's all I've kind of seen the community come up with. There's not much more. Just as a whole though, making it so it's worth doing, you know, the leaderboards for a clan, for instance. It would be pretty cool if there was an overall leaderboard for the entire, you know, player base on Xbox, PlayStation and PC have their own little leaderboards. And maybe, you know, the top 50 or top 100 get certain rarer caches. I think that would be pretty good. So, you know, on the grand scheme of things, we can get these little caches with the clan vendors. We can get all these personal little caches where we save up the little tokens to obviously open them. But imagine a top 50, top 100 ranked cache base. So the, you know, anyone outside gets a certain amount of caches for actually taking part. The top 100 get maybe a better chance of getting higher rolled, you know, attributes. Then the top 50, maybe that increases. The top 25, maybe there's an exotic cache in there. The top 10, maybe they get 2 or 3 exotic caches and, you know, a few rare gold caches with high roll drops, you know, maybe guaranteeing something like over 75% of the attribution bars. And then, you know, maybe a top 10 where they get 3 or 4 exotic caches or 3 or 4 of these really high rolled gear caches. And then, you know, so on and so forth. You can create it. You know, I've seen similar games do it in the past where they reward grinders of the game over a time period, and I just think that would be a pretty great thing for obviously the dev team to implement. Anyway, if there's anything that I've kind of missed off in this video, anything you'd like to see for Countdown to be more standalone, you know, more exclusive, let me know in the comments. If you did like today's video, hit that like button for me. It really will help out the channel, and subscribe for more Division 2 content. And yeah, that's the video.